Good afternoon, everyone. This is Donald. Welcome to another edition of Fond Memories. How's everyone doing? It's Monday, a little bit after work, around 6 o'clock or so, and I decided to record another edition of Fond Memories, as it's been a while since I've recorded anything. Main reason is just busy with life and other things going on, but with a lot of changes happening recently, I'm going to get back to recording some of my recollections of certain things. And today's subject will be the Stonestown McDonald's out here in San Francisco. For those who didn't hear, the Stonestown McDonald's recently closed about 2 weeks ago. The last day was June 23rd, 2024 on a Sunday. Someone I know on Facebook had actually posted a message indicating the store would close several weeks before, but I actually didn't see the note until a friend had texted it to me, and then I realized that the date was coming up. So for today, let me go over and talk about my fond memories of the Stonestown McDonald's. First of all, for those who might not realize, I actually worked at the Stonestown McDonald's from about 1995, I want to say, till about 1997. Don't remember the exact months. But I'm going to say it's about 2 years I spent some time, I was working there. The reason why I ended up at the Stonestown McDonald's was I actually couldn't get a job at of a Bank of America. One of my friends and classmates at San Francisco State had gotten me to apply to Bank of America, but whatever, one reason or another, I didn't get the job. And so I talked to someone else who said, hey, why don't you just come over and work at the McDonald's? And I decided to give it a shot. And logically, it made sense because I think the Bank of America my friend was trying to get me into was actually a little bit further away from the university. And obviously with the Stonestown McDonald's being next door, it just made sense. So I went ahead and applied, ended up getting the job. And, you know, like I said, I worked there for the 2 years. Now, thinking back to those times, back in the 90s, the mid to late 90s, the salary, if you hear about the fast food salaries that are prevalent in California, I think it's a $20 minimum wage now, you might have a laugh at the salary I started with at the Stonestown McDonald's. If I recollect correctly, I started with a salary of about $3.85 per hour. And you might think that's pretty damn low, and yeah, it was at the time. But, you know, prices and stuff were a little bit different back then. As I progressed, I think if I remember, my next bump up was to about $4.25. And then at the end of my time at McDonald's, I think I was at $4.50 or $4.75. So yes, I wasn't making a whole lot of money, but it was some definitely interesting times when it came to my salary back then. Looking at my notes, the next recollection was some of the food things that we kind of went through at the time there. So, namely the introduction of some new items. There's probably quite a few, but the main thing that stood out to me was the introduction of the Arch Deluxe burger. It was supposed to be a fancy burger, and I think it was meant to compete against like the Whoppers and other sandwiches from the other fast food chains back in those days. It was pretty popular when it first started. Now, obviously over the course of time, and if you even look at 2024, the Arch Deluxe is no longer on the menu, and if you read online on Google, the Arch Deluxe was considered a big failure. I think different reasons why. But from a personal experience, I actually liked the Arch Deluxe. It wasn't a bad sandwich, though my usual favorite at McDonald's was a quarter pounder with cheese. But Arch Deluxe failed. But I remember the big promos that we had to go through when it first came out. People were ordering it a lot. We had to kind of be ready to understand and explain it and know all the ingredients and all of that. So those were some interesting times back then with the Arch Deluxe. I think there were other food intros, but for the life of me, I can't really remember at this moment. So no big deal. We'll go on to the next thing. And the next thing will be the busiest times working at the McDonald's. Now, obviously, from just standard times, usual busy times are breakfast, early morning, people going to work, going to school, especially the college students. Lunchtime for the workers at Stonestown, and depending on how late you worked, the rush hour could be anywhere between 4 and 6, which is around dinner time. But I usually worked a morning shift, and so I didn't get the dinner rush. The other big rush time besides the breakfast, lunch, and dinner rushes were the special offers or promotions that went out. Now, the Happy Meal still exists today, and I don't know what is offered with the Happy Meals today, but back then, a lot of special toys, especially when particular movies came out, whatever it may be. So it was kind of interesting to see all the people rushing in to get the get the Happy Meal and get the toys. Even us workers, sometime, if we were fans of a movie or some of the toys, we'd try to get some for ourselves if we could. Obviously, we wouldn't steal it, but if anything was left over when the promotion's over, we would grab it, right? And the managers are cool with this, no big deal. Don't waste anything, right? But the other food promotions, besides the Happy Meal toys, was, for example, the $1 promos. For example, like maybe a fish fillet for $1, or 2 Quarter Pounders or Big Mac for $4, whatever the promo was. And I think back in the day when we had these promotions, when I was working there and I was at the front register, was we didn't have any limitations on the number of items you could buy. So you would have people saying, hey, I want 10 fish fillets. Obviously, it's only $10, right? Maybe for the whole family, or maybe buy some and save buy some, excuse me, during lunchtime, and then save some for dinner or whatnot. I think as the years went on, even for a couple of years I was there, I think we started limiting, hey, if you want a fish fillet for $1, you can only buy 4 or 5 or whatever the heck the limit was. So those are some fun times back in the day as it related to the various promotions that happened at McDonald's, which I don't even know if they still do. They may or may not still do it, but obviously things have changed these days at McDonald's with a lot less workers and a lot of more automation. They may not have the promotions as much as they used to. So the last memory, and there's a lot more I could share, but I'll share the best. I saved the best for last, and I've published this note multiple times on Facebook through the years. But I was actually awarded the Crew Person of the Month for the Stonestown McDonald's back in around August of 1996. The reason why I got this award was, I believe, I recall being the managers had asked for some volunteers to work, I think, a swing shift or maybe a weekend shift. I can't remember the exact circumstance. And I decided to volunteer. So I worked an extra shift, or maybe worked a swing shift, or work an extra day or two just to help out. You know, just like any type of hourly type jobs, you're always looking for people to fill in when you can. And the popular shifts are obviously, most of the time, it's probably going to be like the 8 to 5. A lot of people don't want to work the swing to late night shift, or even the weekend shifts, right? Because it's busy time, people want to hang out, do whatever. But I gave up a weekend or a few days, I can't remember exactly, giving up some time, and next thing you know, I was the Crew Person of the Month. What did I get out of it? Well, I got my name in the McDonald's newsletter, along with other people who are nominated at the other restaurants that the particular franchisee had, which on the newsletter copy, I know there was a Mission Street McDonald's that had a worker. There might have been more, and I haven't looked at the inside the newsletter for a while. And I also got a little small McDonald's pin, like a little square-sized pin you could put on your shirt or whatever, in a little box that said Crew Person of the Month. Now, fortunately for me, and those of you who see me on Facebook, I've managed to collect a lot of memorabilia over the years. You can thank my mom for some of my sports stuff, but since then I kept a lot of life memorabilia, and I've kept my McDonald's one. I actually still have the pin in the box, never opened it. I still have the newsletter, and put it in a frame recently just to keep it in good shape. I've scanned the newsletter, put it in a digital format, and posted on Facebook, shown it around. And really, it's not really for ego or for pride. It's just really a nice little trivia question like, hey, What's the coolest thing you ever got as an award in your life? Well, I've had quite a few, but being the McDonald's Employee of the Month is definitely one of them. Nice little trivia question. So, that concludes some fond memories of the Stonestown McDonald's. I know I've probably left out a lot of things, people, the restaurant itself, but I will conclude by saying that it's a little unfortunate that it's closed. Had some good times there. Well, you know, it's just McDonald's, people might say, and a lot of the McDonald's that I've hung out throughout the years have closed, and there is some sadness anytime you go to a place or you hung out at a place that you've been to a lot. But it's okay. It's part of life. Luckily, like I said, I've retained a lot of the memories, some of the memorabilia, so I will always remember my times there. Alrighty. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will be back soon with another edition of Fun Memories.